Back here in the U.S., happening right now, day 2 of gun control rallies across this country. Yesterday, activists demanded action in cities like Austin, Texas. And joining me now, Congressman Lloyd Doggett, a Democrat from Texas. Congressman, welcome back to the broadcast, sir. I know that you were at the Austin rally. You reiterated your call for a ban on military-style assault weapons. And our new poll found that a full 62% of voters support that. But is it easier, sir, to support that ban in, we'll call, left-leaning Austin than in other parts of right-leaning Texas, where gun advocates are a bit less likely to support that ban?
Well, I think most Texans recognize that these weapons of war are for just that. They're for killing other human beings. Yes, we have gun culture here in Texas. I grew up at deer hunting, dove hunting. But if you use an assault weapon, you obliterate the animal. I believe that the only thing standing between us and a ban on these weapons of war is Mitch McConnell, who's also earned his title that he's boasted of the Grim Reaper in blocking our universal background check bill. It's time for the Senate to end the blockade and for him to give his colleagues an opportunity to vote and debate on these measures.
Well, sir, and to that point, even beyond McConnell himself, the president seems to be abandoning his support for background checks now. Instead, he's linking gun violence to mental illness, and it's now being echoed by Republican Senator Joni Ernst of Iowa. A poll in February found that her approval rating among Iowans has hit a new high at 57%. So listen to what she said about gun violence during a town hall she held yesterday, and then how the crowd reacted.
A lot of the incidents that we see do come back to mental illness. We need to make sure that those that are showing signs of instability are able to receive treatment. And I would say that across the United States, we are short counselors, we are short psychologists.
We're short Congress people that take action.
So, yeah, she's popular in Iowa, but they did not take to that link there. What are your constituents saying?
Well, they share the concern of the audience there in Iowa that it's time for Congress to do something. You know, there's really a sad pattern here, Alex. It's followed almost every incident. That if they can delay long enough, they hope the American people will be distracted by the next silly thing that Donald Trump does, or by some international event or tragedy elsewhere, and that people will lose focus and they can avoid doing anything meaningful. I believe they envision delaying this well into September and then trying to take the least possible action, because sadly, like our Texas state Republican government, under Mitch McConnell, the NRA seems to control the Senate lock, stock, and barrel.
I got to tell you, what you just said there, 100% true, and I share that frustration. Just the fact that everything pivots, and they do anything they can to stop talking about gun control, this epidemic in this country. I do want to talk to the economy here with you, because, sir,
Sure.
we heard 2 top White House economic advisors insisting the economy is doing very well, and that the tariffs are not hurting American consumers. And I know you were on the Budget Committee as well as House Ways and Means. What is your take?
Well, I think all you need to do is to look at this past week and the master of distraction, Donald Trump. The stock market falls 800 points. He attacks 2 members of Congress. The bond market is sending signals that suggest the possibility of recession. He's focused on how big his crowds are. I don't believe that Donald Trump has a plan for our economy any more than he has a plan for health care or a plan to denuclearize North Korea. All he has is a blame game. Let's blame someone else and change the subject. The nearest he has to a plan is easy-to-win trade wars, which are hurting us, and his tax cut, which I strongly opposed, because it was just a gift to some multinational corporations and the very rich portion of our society, including his own family. And it has not worked. It provided a sugar high, but now we're burdened with debt that will slow our ability to move forward. And if there is a recession, we will be limited in having the tools that we need in order to combat it.
Texas Congressman Lloyd Doggett, thank you very much for the conversation.
Thank you,
I look forward
Alex.
to our next